Commander Olivia Bennett stood tall as the alien ship docked with the space station Europa-1. The metal doors slid open with a soft hiss. The aliens called Arcturians walked into the meeting room. Their blue skin and 4 eyes made them look strange, but Olivia kept her face calm. Olivia wore her Earth Defense Force uniform with pride. The small pin on her chest showed she was from Earth, the newest member of the Space Alliance. The room was cold, and the lights were dim, just how the aliens liked. The main Arcturian stepped forward. Its name was impossible for humans to say, so they called it Ambassador Blue. Ambassador Blue spoke, and the translator machine changed the clicks and whistles into English. Your humans have made something you wow. Should not have our ship. Saw a weapon on your research ship. It can destroy too much. You must give it to us. Olivia felt her heart beat faster but did not show fear. That is not true, Ambassador. Our ship, Trailblazer, has only normal defense weapons, as allowed by our agreement. Maybe you saw our new space drive that lets us travel fast. Science Officer Kimberly Dawson stood next to Olivia. Her red hair was tied back tight and her face showed worry. Both women knew what the aliens had really seen. Project Sunflare, a new weapon that could change the fight for power in space. The Arcturian moved closer. Its eyes narrowed. We know what we saw. Give us this weapon, or we will take action. The aliens left the room. Kimberly turned to Olivia. They know about Sunflare. What do we do? Olivia took out her communication device. Call Admiral Weber. Tell her the Arcturians know about our secret. 3 days later, Olivia stood on the bridge of the Trailblazer, watching space through the big window. Earth looked small and blue from here. A beautiful home that she had sworn to protect. The ship alarm started to ring loud. Chief Officer Maya looked up from her screen. Arcturian warships coming fast. Many of them big ones, too. They have weapons ready. Admiral Samantha. Weber walked onto the bridge. Her gray uniform showed many medals from past fights. She had short brown hair and eyes that had seen many space battles. What are they doing? Maya. They say they will attack Earth if we do not give them our tech. They call it the Planet Killer. Weber pressed a button on her chair screen. This is Admiral Weber to all crew battle stations now. This is not a test, I repeat, this is not a test. Olivia moved to her station as crew members ran to their posts. The ship hummed, as shields went up and weapons came online. Tactical Officer Tanya showed a map of Space 5 Arcturian battleships bigger than anything Earth had. They could destroy all human ships in minutes. Weber opened a channel to Earth. Defense Command Fleet. Admiral Patricia Morrison appeared on the big screen. Her face looked tired and worried. Weber spoke first. Madam, the Arcturians are here. They demand we give them Sunflare, or they will attack Earth. What are your orders? Morrison looked down for a moment, then back up with hard eyes. You know what to do, Sam. We created Sunflare for this kind of day when someone threatens our world. You have my permission. Use it. But Admiral, we never tested it fully. The math shows it might be too powerful. Those are my orders. Weber, protect Earth at all costs. The screen went black. Weber turned to her crew. Prepare Sunflare. Take us between Earth and the alien fleet. The Trailblazer moved forward, its engines pushing hard. Kimberly looked up from her science screen. Admiral, I just checked the alien ships. The big one in the middle is not a warship, it's their royal ship. Their leader is on board. Weber closed her eyes for a moment. This makes things harder. The Arcturians sent another message. Final warning. Surrender your weapon or we will destroy your cities. Weber looked at each crew member. Their faces showed fear but also trust in her decision. She pressed the ship speaker. All crew except Bridge Team and Sunflare Team go to the safe rooms. Now Engineer Allison Reeves called from the engine room. Sunflare is ready, Admiral, but the power levels are higher than we planned. I cannot promise it will work. Right, Lauren Foster, the woman who created the weapon, spoke next from her lab. I must warn you again. This was made to scare enemies, not to use. It might do more than we want. I understand, Doctor, but we have no choice. Tanya, how long until they attack? Tanya checked her screen. 2 minutes. They launched smaller attack ships. Weber took a deep breath. Everyone hold on. Activate sun flare. The lights on the Trailblazer went dim. All power went to the special system in the center of the ship. For a few seconds, nothing happened. Then space itself seemed to bend around the ship like water around a stone. A clear wave moved out from the Trailblazer toward the Arcturian fleet. It passed through a small moon on the way. The moon started to glow, then simply fell apart. Not in an explosion, but as if every tiny piece forgot how to stay together. The energy created was huge, and went straight toward the alien ships. The bridge crew watched in shock as the wave hit the alien fleet. One by one, the ships disappeared in flashes of light, but the wave kept going. It reached the planet behind the fleet Arcturus IV, home to 8 billion aliens. No one on the bridge could speak as they watched the planet break apart in seconds. Where a world full of life had been there was now only rocks and dust. Weber fell back into her chair. Oh no. What have we done? From the science lab, Lauren stared at her screen. The weapon had worked too well. Someone had changed her math to make it stronger. She checked the computer records and found who did it. Fleet Admiral Morrison wanted a weapon that would scare the whole galaxy. It worked, but at what cost? The communication system started to ring with messages from all parts of space. Aliens everywhere had seen what happened. They were all now coming for Earth. Maya looked at the Admiral with tears in her eyes. They think we are monsters. Now Weber stood up straight. Call Earth. We need to tell them what happened and prepare the ship. We might be the last hope for our world. Olivia looked out at the stars. The day had started with a meeting. It had ended with the death of a planet. The real war was just beginning. 1 week passed since the Arcturian planet turned to dust. The Trailblazer hid behind Mars, away from angry alien eyes. The ship felt cold and quiet. As the crew tried to understand what they had done, Admiral Weber sat in her office looking at reports. From Earth, riots filled the streets as humans learned what their weapon had done. Some called the crew heroes for saving Earth. Others called them killers. Weber looked tired. Her eyes had dark circles and her uniform looked wrinkled. She had not slept much since that day. A knock on her door made her look up. Commander Olivia Bennett entered with more bad news. 3 alien groups are coming to our solar system: the Vega people, the Sirius group, and the Proxima Force. All have big war fleets. Weber rubbed her eyes. How long until they get here? 10 days, maybe less. They are not talking to us. They blocked all message signals. Weber stood up and walked to the window. Mars looked red and peaceful below. What about Earth? Our homeworld is getting ready. For war, all ships are coming back to protect it. But we don't have enough. Everyone knows it. The aliens will crush us. Weber nodded. We killed 8 billion of them. They want the same for us. Another knock at the door. Science officer Kimberly walked. In her face looked excited. Admiral, I found something strange in the sunflare system. Someone changed the power settings. They made it much stronger than Dr. Foster planned. Weber looked shocked. Show me. Kimberly placed a small computer on the desk. Look. At the math here and here. The original numbers were safe. The weapon would have stopped the Arcturian ships but not destroyed the planet. Someone wanted it to be deadly. Who did this? Kimberly looked nervous. The code shows Fleet Admiral Morrison made. The changes she wanted to send a message to all aliens. Do not mess with humans. Weber slammed her hand on the desk. She killed a planet on purpose. She started this war. Olivia spoke up. We need to tell everyone. The other aliens must know we did not mean to do this. Weber shook her head. Will they believe us? They think we are monsters now. Dr. Lauren Foster entered the office without knocking. I heard what you found. I always thought my math was right. The weapon should have been safe. Weber looked at the weapon creator. What can we do now? Dr. Lauren took a deep breath. I have been studying the sunflare system. I think I can change it. I can make it protect instead of destroy. How would that help us now? Weber asked. It could make a shield around Earth. A shield so strong nothing could break it. Not even all the alien fleets together. Weber looked thoughtful. Could it protect us long enough to talk to the aliens, to explain what happened? Lauren nodded. If I work with Allison from engineering, we might do it. But I need time. Weber stood straighter. Give the doctor anything she needs. Commander Bennett, go to Earth. Find Morrison. I want to know why she did this. 5 days later, Olivia stood in the office of Fleet Admiral Morrison on Earth. The older woman sat behind a large desk. Her face showed no guilt. You killed 8 billion people, Olivia said. Why? Morrison looked calm. It was the only way to keep Earth safe. The aliens think we are weak. They plan to take our world piece by piece. I showed them we are strong by killing a planet, by making sure no one will ever attack us again. Fear keeps peace, Commander. Not friendship. Olivia put a recording device on the desk. Say that again, Admiral. I want to make sure I have it right. Morrison realized too late what was happening. Guards, take her. But the guards did not move. They had heard everything. Their faces showed disgust at their leader. Olivia picked up the device. You will face Earth justice for what you did. The whole planet will know the truth. Back on the Trailblazer, Lauren and Allison worked day and night. The ship lab was full of tools and computer screens. The two women barely slept as they changed the Sunflare system. Admiral, we did it. Lauren said 3 days later, we changed Sunflare. It will now make a shield around anything we want. Weber looked at their work. Show me. Allison pointed to a small moon near Mars. We can test it there. Weber nodded. Do it. The Trailblazer moved close to the small moon. Lauren activated the new system. The ship shook as power moved through it. A blue light spread out and covered the moon. Now watch. Allison said. She pressed a button and the ship fired weapons at the moon. The shots hit the blue shield and stopped. They could not break through. It works. Weber smiled for the first time in days. But can it protect all of Earth? Lauren nodded. It can. But there is more. We can also send out the truth. We can show all aliens the recording of Morrison. The ship can broadcast it everywhere. Weber thought for a moment. Will they believe us? We have to try. Allison said, what other choice do we have? As they talked, Maya called from the bridge. Admiral, the alien fleets are here. They just entered our solar system. 3 days early. Weber ran to the bridge. The main screen showed hundreds of alien ships moving toward Earth. We need to get there first. Full speed to Earth. The Trailblazer engines pushed hard as the ship raced to get home first. Weber called a meeting of all senior crew. We have one chance to stop this war. We need to shield Earth and show the truth at the same time. Olivia spoke up. I have the recording of Morrison. It shows she changed the weapon on purpose. She wanted to kill the planet. Weber nodded. Lauren, get the shield ready. Maya, prepare to send the recording to all ships. Tanya, keep weapons ready just in case. As Earth came into view, the alien fleets appeared on the other side of the planet. The Trailblazer was just in time. The ship moved into position between Earth and the aliens. Lauren activated the shield. A blue light spread out from the ship, growing bigger and bigger until it covered the whole planet. The alien ships fired their weapons. The shots hit the blue shield and stopped. Earth was safe for now. Maya, send the recording. Weber ordered. Now the ship sent out Morrison's words to every alien ship. They could hear her admit to changing the weapon to kill on purpose. For many minutes, nothing happened. The aliens did not respond. Then a message came from the lead Vega ship. We hear your words. We will talk. Weber let out a breath she did not know she was holding. Open a channel to the Vega ship. I am Admiral Weber of Earth. We want peace. The alien leader appeared on screen. Its purple face looked doubtful. You killed many of our friends. It was not meant to happen. Weber said. One person changed our weapon. She has been arrested. She will face justice. Please give us a chance to make this right. The alien was quiet for a long time. Then it spoke. We will meet. We will decide if humans deserve another chance. It was not victory, but it was hope. The shield would hold Earth safe while humans tried to fix what Morrison had done. Weber looked at her crew. You all did good. We showed them who humans really are, not killers, not monsters, just people who want to live in peace. Olivia smiled for the first time in days. Maybe they will believe us. Weber nodded. Maybe they have to. Because if they don't, this shield won't last forever. and the next war will have no winners. The peace talks began on a space station between Earth and Mars. No one trusted anyone, so the station was empty, except for the meeting room Olivia Bennett represented. Earth along with Admiral Weber. 5 aliens from different worlds sat across the table. Their faces showed no friendly feelings. The main alien, a tall purple Vega, spoke first. You humans made a weapon that killed a world. Then you say it was not your fault. You blame one leader. We find this hard to believe. Weber leaned forward. The recording we sent shows the truth. Fleet Admiral Morrison changed our weapon to be more deadly than planned. She is now in prison waiting for her trial. The serious alien, a short green being with 6 arms, clicked its mouth parts. But you still made this weapon in the first place. Why make something so dangerous if not to use it, Doctor? Lauren Foster stepped into the room. She carried a computer pad and looked nervous. She had created Sunflare and now had to explain why I made the weapon as a shield first. It was meant to protect, not destroy. Morrison changed it without telling anyone. The Proxima alien made a sound like laughing, but it could still kill. So you say. Lauren looked down, then back up with strong eyes. Any tech can be good or bad. A knife can cut food or hurt people. A ship can carry people or bombs. The tech is not good or bad. The user makes that choice. Morrison made a bad choice. The room went quiet. The aliens looked at each other. We need time to talk about this, the Vega said. We will meet again tomorrow. Back on the Trailblazer, Kimberly worked in the science lab studying the Sunflare core. The blue energy moved and pulsed inside its container. Her computer showed strange readings. Something was changing in the core. She called engineering. Allison, I need you in the lab. Something is wrong with Sunflare, chief engineer. Allison left her dinner and ran to the lab. The 2 women looked at the core. The blue light now had red streaks in it. The container shook slightly. What's happening? Kimberly asked. Allison checked the computer. We use too much power making the shield around Earth. The core is becoming unstable. If it breaks, it could destroy the ship and maybe more. Kimberly finished. They called Admiral Weber, who came right away. Can you fix it? Allison shook her head. No. The damage is done. The core will break in about 3 days. Weber looked worried. We need that shield to protect Earth. If it fails, the aliens might attack. We can make the shield last longer. Allison said, but we need to move the core away from the ship. It needs to be in space on its own, feeding power to the shield, so we lose the Trailblazer. Weber said. Allison nodded. It's the only way. Weber thought for a moment. Do it. The next day at the peace talks, things were not going well. The aliens still did not trust humans. They wanted all of Earth's advanced tech to be given to them. This is not fair, Olivia said. We showed you the truth about what happened. We are trying to make it right. The Vega leaned forward. Words are easy, but we need to be sure you will never make such weapons again. Weber got an urgent message on her computer. The Sunflare core had less time than they thought. It would break tomorrow. She made a big decision. You want proof of our goodwill. Here it is. Weber pressed a button on her computer. The shield around Earth dropped. All of Earth's ships stopped their weapons. The planet was now open to attack. The aliens looked shocked. What are you doing? Weber stood up. We are showing you we want peace. We trust you not to attack us. We hope you can trust us too. The aliens talked among themselves. This is unexpected. The Sirius said on. The Trailblazer, Allison and Kimberly prepared to move the Sunflare core. They wore special suits to protect them from the energy. A small ship waited to carry the core into space. Lauren came to say goodbye to her creation. I never thought it would end like this. Allison put a hand on her shoulder. It saved Earth once. It can do it again by powering the shield one last time. The core moved onto the small ship. Allison would fly it. Kimberly would stay on the Trailblazer to monitor from there. The 2 friends hugged. Be careful, Kimberly said. Always. Allison smiled. The small ship left the Trailblazer and moved out into open space. Allison flew it to the perfect spot halfway between Earth and Mars. From here, the core could power the shield without endangering anyone when it finally broke. Back at the peace talks, a message came through the aliens. Ships were moving. All of them at once. Weber felt cold. Are they attacking? No, Olivia said, looking at her screen. They are leaving. They are going home. The Vega stood up. Your act of trust was unexpected. Humans, we still do not fully trust you, but we will not attack today. We will watch and wait. If you prove peaceful over time, we may become friends. Relief filled the room. Weber smiled. Thank you for this chance. As the meeting ended, alarms sounded. Olivia looked at her computer. The Sunflare core. It's breaking now, not tomorrow. On her small ship, Allison saw the core container crack. Red light mixed with blue, and the ship shook. The core would explode in minutes. She could fly away and save herself. But then the core would drift. The explosion might reach Earth. She made her choice and turned the ship away from Earth and Mars, pushing the engines as fast as they would go. She would take the core as far away as possible. Kimberly watched from the Trailblazer. Allison, no. Come back. But Allison kept flying. The small ship moved fast, putting distance between the dangerous core and the planet she loved on Earth, and on all ships' screens showed what was happening. The small ship grew smaller as it raced away, then a flash of light, the biggest explosion anyone had ever seen. It was far enough away that Earth and Mars were safe. Kimberly cried quiet tears. Her friend was gone. Weber put a hand on her shoulder. She saved us all. The aliens saw it too. They watched as a human gave her life to protect others. The Vega leader sent one last message before leaving. Perhaps we judged too quickly. We will talk again. 1 month later, a memorial service was held on Earth for Allison. People from many planets came to honor her sacrifice. Even some Arcturians came. Their home world was gone, but some of their people had been on other planets. They too began to see that not all humans were bad. Lauren stood before the crowd. Allison showed us all what humanity can be. She used tech to save lives, not take them. She showed that our choices matter more than our tools. I promise that my work from now on will honor her. I will create tech that can only help, never harm Weber. Nodded as she listened. This was the right path forward. Humans had almost destroyed themselves with Sunflare, but they had also saved themselves with it. The tech was neither good nor bad. The people using it made that choice. Olivia looked up at the stars. The aliens were out there watching. Earth would need to prove itself worthy of trust. It would take time, but humans were good at learning from mistakes. The shield was gone now. Earth was open to space again, but a different kind of shield protected it now. The shield of new understanding. The shield of a promise to do better. Kimberly placed flowers at the base of Allison's statue. The stars above seemed to shine a little brighter that night, as if they too were honoring a hero. 6 months passed since Allison gave her life to save Earth. The planet's people slowly rebuilt trust with the alien races. Small steps led to bigger ones. Trade started again. Ships from Earth could visit other worlds again with special permits on. The Trailblazer Admiral Weber looked over reports in her office. The ship had a new mission now. To explore, not to fight. To learn, not to destroy. A knock at her door. Commander Olivia entered with a serious face. Admiral, we got a strange message from a far part of space. It's from a human colony on planet Harmony. They say they found something. Weber looked up. What did they find? Olivia looked worried. Some old tech. In a cave system near their town. They think it's Sunflare tech. Weber stood up quickly. That is impossible. All Sunflare tech was destroyed after what happened. The plans were erased. Olivia handed over a small screen with pictures. They found this. The images showed a blue glowing core just like Sunflare. How could this be? Weber asked. Nobody but us and Earth Command knew about Sunflare. Olivia took a deep breath. There is more. The colony leader said people have gone missing near the cave. She thinks someone is using the tech for something. Weber walked to the window of her office. The stars looked cold and far away. We need to check this out. Tell Maya to set course for Harmony. Full speed. 3 days later, the Trailblazer reached planet Harmony. The world had been settled by humans 20 years ago. It was a farming planet with one main town and many small villages. The ship landed near the main town. Weber, Olivia Kimberly, and a security team left the ship. The colony leader, Nancy Porter, met them. She was a tall woman with gray hair and a strong face. Welcome to Harmony, though. We are not very harmonious right now. The group walked through the town. People looked afraid. They watched the Earth officers with suspicious eyes. Tell me about these missing people, Weber said. Nancy nodded. 10 people in the last month, all disappeared, near the caves west of town. We sent search teams but found nothing except that strange tech, and no one reported this tech before now. Olivia asked. Nancy looked uncomfortable. We only found it last week when we started a real search. My daughter was one of the people who disappeared. I went looking myself. I'm sorry. Weber said, we will help find her. I promise. Nancy led them to a small building with maps and pictures. This is what we know. The caves go deep into the mountains. The missing people all worked at different jobs. No connection except they all disappeared at night. Kimberly studied the pictures of the blue core. This looks exactly like Sunflare, but smaller. How is this possible? Weber shook her head. Let's go see for ourselves. The group took land vehicles to the mountains. The caves opened like dark mouths in the rock walls. Their lights cut through the darkness as they entered the first cave. The tunnels went deep and split many times. Nancy led them through the maze. We mapped as much as we could. This way. After an hour of walking, they reached a large open space in the cave. Crystal formations hung from the ceiling, catching their light and breaking it into colors. On the far side of the room, a blue glow came from a small side tunnel. That's it. Nancy pointed. Weber signaled the security team to stay alert. The group moved toward the glow. The side tunnel opened into a smaller room, and there it was. A Sunflare core smaller than the one on the Trailblazer, but unmistakable. Kimberly moved closer with scanning tools. It's real A working Sunflare core, but it's been modified. Look at these changes. Before Weber could respond, a noise came from behind a rock formation. A woman stepped out. She wore dirty clothes and looked tired. Her eyes went wide when she saw the group. Mom. Nancy shouted, running forward. Lily, where have you been? The woman hugged Nancy, but her eyes stayed on Weber and the others. You brought them here. Why, they will take it away. Weber stepped forward. Admiral. Weber. Who are you and how did you get this tech? The woman looked nervous. My name is Lily Porter. I worked for Fleet Admiral. Morrison. Weber felt cold. Worked how? Lily stepped back. I was part of her science team. We developed Sunflare together, but Dr. Foster created Sunflare, Olivia said. Lily shook her head. Foster made the first design, but Morrison had a secret team. We improved it. We made it stronger. You mean you helped destroy a planet? Weber said, her voice hard. Lily looked down. We didn't know that would happen. We were told it was for defense. I left when I saw what happened. I took a copy of the plans and came here. Why bring it here? Kimberly asked, to fix my mistake. Lily said, I changed the tech. I made it safe. I use it to power our town. It provides clean energy. Nancy looked shocked. You never told me I couldn't tell anyone. Lily said if Earth found out they would take it. But it's safe now, I promise. Weber looked at the core. Is it really safe? Or could it still be a weapon? Lily hesitated. Both. It's still powerful, but I control it carefully. And the missing people? Weber asked, what happened to them? Lily looked away. There were others from Morrison's team. They wanted the core. They took people to make me give it up, but I hid here. So where are the missing people? Olivia asked. Lily pointed to another tunnel. There they are alive, but the other team keeps them. Prisoner. Weber turned to her security team. Prepare to rescue those people. Olivia, go with them. Kimberly, stay here and study this. Core. I want to know if it's truly safe. The security team moved down the tunnel, weapons ready. Olivia followed close behind. They heard voices ahead. In a large cave room, they found 5 people tied up sitting against a wall. 3 people in black clothes stood guard. The Earth team moved fast, surrounding the guards. Put down your weapons, Olivia ordered. The guards looked at each other, then dropped their guns. We surrender, one said, as the security team freed the prisoners. Olivia questioned the guards. You worked for Morrison too? The lead guard nodded. We were following orders. Find the backup core. Bring it back in the main cave. Kimberly finished her scan of the core. It's amazing what Lily did here. She really did make it safe. It can't explode or be used as a weapon, but it produces enough clean energy to power 10 towns this size. Weber looked at Lily. You did this to make up for what happened. Lily nodded. Every day I think about those aliens who died because of what we made. I can't bring them back, but I can make sure this tech helps people. Now Weber thought for a long moment the aliens would not be happy to know Sunflare tech still existed in any form, but this version was different. Safe, clean. A new beginning. Lily watched Weber nervously. Are you going to take it? Weber shook her head. No, but we need to tell Earth about this, and we need to be honest with our alien allies too. Lily looked afraid. They will want it destroyed. Maybe, Weber said. Or maybe they will see what you did, to turn something terrible into something good. The security team returned with the freed prisoners and the guards. The prisoners hugged their families, tears of joy on their faces. Later that night, Weber sat in the colony leader's office talking with Olivia and Kimberly. What do we do now? Olivia spoke first. We promised the aliens we destroyed all Sunflare tech. If we keep this secret and they find out, they will never trust us again. Kimberly nodded. But this tech could help so many planets clean. Energy is something everyone needs. Weber made her decision. We tell the truth. We show them what Lily did, how she changed destruction into creation. We ask them to judge for themselves. 2 weeks later, representatives from all the major alien races came to Harmony. They walked into the caves. They saw the small blue core. They heard Lily explain her work. The Vega leader studied the core for a long time. This is not the same weapon. It cannot destroy as before. No, Lily said. But it remembers what it was. That memory is important so we never repeat our mistakes. The aliens talked among themselves. Then the Vega turned to Weber. We will allow this, but with conditions. Earth must share this clean energy tech with all worlds. Earth must accept inspectors to make sure it stays safe. Weber nodded. That is fair, as the aliens left. Kimberly smiled at Weber. You took a big risk telling them. Weber looked at the core, glowing softly. This is how we build trust, not with secrets, but with truth, not with weapons, but with help. That night the town of Harmony had a celebration. The lights powered by the core shone bright. People from Earth and from other worlds danced together. Lily stood next to Weber watching the party. Do you think they will ever fully trust us? Weber looked up at the stars. Sometimes the worst mistakes lead to the best changes. We almost destroyed everything, but now we have a chance to build something better, something that will last. 5 years passed since the discovery on Harmony. The modified Sunflare cores now provided clean energy to worlds across the galaxy. The tech that once destroyed a planet now helped billions live better lives. Admiral Weber stood on the observation deck of the New Earth space station. The huge structure orbited Earth as a meeting place for all species. Below her, delegates from 20 alien worlds gathered for the 5th galaxy. Peace Summit Commander Olivia. Now Captain Olivia joined Weber at the window. She wore the formal white uniform of an Earth diplomat. The years had been good to her, though small lines showed at the corners of her eyes. Hard to believe how far we have come. Weber nodded. We went from almost starting a galaxy war to hosting the peace talks. Olivia smiled. The new energy network is nearly complete. Soon every major world will be connected with clean sun flare. Power Weber watched the stars. Ships from many worlds moved through space around Earth. Earth was no longer feared. Earth was now respected, not for its weapons, but for its willingness to make things right. Kimberly entered the observation deck, now wearing the uniform of science director. Her red hair had some gray now. She held a computer pad. The final report on the Morrison case. Weber took the pad. Fleet Admiral Patricia Morrison had been in prison these 5 years. Her trial had been long and complex. She claimed she only wanted to protect Earth, but the evidence showed she wanted power. She wanted Earth to rule through fear. The death sentence was changed to life in prison. Weber read aloud. Olivia nodded. A fair choice. Killing her would not bring back the Arcturians. Weber put down the pad and looked at her friends. The 3 women had been through so much together. They had seen a planet die. They had watched their friend Allison sacrifice herself. They had worked to rebuild trust. And now they stood at the beginning of a new age. The door opened, and Lily Porter entered. She now led the Sunflare Energy Project. Her work had spread across the stars. Lily, the delegates are ready for you. Lily nodded nervously. Even after all these years of speaking to leaders, she still got stage fright. Thank you, Admiral. Please call me Sam Weber. Smiled. We are long past titles. Lily smiled back. Sam. Then, the new core designs are ready. They are 30% more efficient. The energy output will be enough to power the new deep space exploration ships. Excellent, Weber said. Now we can go further than ever. Before, see new worlds. Maybe find new friends. The 4 women walked together toward the meeting hall. As they entered, delegates from many worlds stood in respect. The Vega leader, now an old friend, raised a hand in greeting. Director Porter. Please show us these new designs. Lily stepped forward and activated the large display screen. A 3D image of the newest Sunflare core appeared, blue and beautiful. These cores will power the next generation of ships. The ships that will take all of us beyond our known space. The delegates applauded. The Arcturian representative, one of the few survivors of their species, nodded in approval. From great tragedy, we have found unity. Weber watched with pride. Humans had learned the hardest lesson possible. They had paid a terrible price, but they had grown. The technology that almost ended everything now promised a new beginning. Later that evening, a special ceremony took place, a memorial for those lost. The great hall darkened and small lights appeared floating. In the air, one for every life lost on Arcturus. 8 billion lights like stars in the night. Weber, Olivia, Kimberly, and Lily stood together watching. We will never forget, Weber said quietly. We carry this memory with us even as we move forward. On the main platform, the Vega leader spoke. 5 years ago, we stood on the edge of war. A mistake almost led to the destruction of all our worlds. But brave people stood up. They admitted what went wrong. They worked to make it right. Today, we honor those who died. And we celebrate how far we have come together. The leader raised a hand and the floating lights began to move. They swirled together, forming a map of the galaxy. Then the lights changed color from white to blue. The color of sunflare energy. The color of new hope. From the ashes of destruction we built peace. From the weapon that killed, we created life. This is the true strength of thinking beings. Not that we never fall, but that we can rise again. After the ceremony, Weber stood alone on the observation deck. The Earth turned below, beautiful and blue. The planet that had almost started a war was now the center of peace. A message alert sounded on her computer. Fleet Command wanted her to lead the first deep space mission. To take a ship beyond known space. To represent all the united worlds. She smiled and accepted the mission. The Trailblazer 2 would launch in 1 month. The ship powered by sunflare cores would go further than any ship before. Olivia entered the deck. You got the mission, Weber nodded. They want you as first officer and Kimberly as science director. Olivia smiled. The old team back together? And Lily, Weber added. They want her to monitor the cores, like old times. Then Olivia said, Weber looked out at the stars, no better than old times. Then we were fighting to survive. Now we are exploring to learn. The next month the Trailblazer 2 prepared for launch. The ship was bigger than the original Trailblazer, more advanced. The crew included people from 12 different worlds. A true galaxy effort. Weber stood on the bridge, Olivia at her side, Kimberly at the science station, Lily monitoring the engine room. The ship hummed with power. Sunflare energy flowed through its systems. The countdown began. Alien and human voices joined together. This is Admiral Samantha Weber. The Trailblazer 2 is ready for launch. We go to the stars not as humans, not as aliens, but as explorers. We carry with us the lessons of the past and the hope for the future. The ship lifted smoothly from Earth Space Station. The blue glow of its engines brightened as it picked up speed. Soon it would reach the jump point. Then the ship would go beyond known space. Weber looked at her crew, at her friends. They had been through the darkest times together. They had found a way forward. On the main screen, Earth grew smaller. A beautiful blue world that had almost been lost. Now it was safe. A beacon of peace in a galaxy, learning to work together. The ship reached the jump point. Course laid. Olivia reported all systems ready. Weber took a deep breath. Take us beyond the stars stretched, and the Trailblazer 2 jumped into the unknown. The ship that carried the technology that once erased a planet now carried the united peoples of the galaxy into a new future. The weapon had become a tool. The enemies had become friends. The mistake had become a lesson. And the story of how Earth almost destroyed everything, but instead helped build peace, would be told across the stars for generations to come. The end.